remember a time, and by time, I mean like 20 years of time, where every day felt like a rerun of the day before. I am not exaggerating, probably years at a time. Different jobs, different faces, different marriages, even. But whatever. But somehow it all felt the same. Like I was spinning in a loop. I was always rushing around, trying to do it all, be it all. I felt like I was trying to fix my outer world so that my inner world could feel calm and happy. I had a big problem feeling like I was doing it all and doing my best, trying my best, and somehow it never was good enough. It never felt like it made a difference, even though I was spending all my time and energy just trying to be happy and change the world around me and help people. Have you ever felt like that, where your life is stuck on repeat, even when the details change? You go from dating one person to someone else, and geez, the face is different, but the issues, the conversations, they're the same, or the job, it's the same experience. And here's my thing. It wasn't my job or my relationships, although there was room for improvement, but really it wasn't the circumstances that needed to change. It was me. I needed to do different. And so we're going to talk today on the practice your positive, not just about tactics, how to break the cycle, which is what we usually do. I'm a big believer that we can use our mind and body bidirectionally, and by changing our behaviors, we can change our mindset. But it's important to note that it goes the other direction as well, using our mindset and focusing on our mindset to truly change who you are so you can change your life. All right. As I said, we start these out. We're keeping these super simple. I just want to share what's worked for me with a little inspiration and maybe an idea that you can try. So let's start with the first point, and that is you have to believe. You have to believe that life can feel different for you. It doesn't have to feel the way it's been. It doesn't have to be the same experience. You have to believe that you can create something new. And this is the biggest part. I know I always felt like a positive person, and I felt like I could have a happy life. But honestly, I believed that I couldn't do better, and that the patterns that I had established and the relationships and the person I was, I kind of thought that was my best. I didn't think there was something else out there. And so for me, it was really just believing that I could create something new. I was open to new beliefs about love and money and health and my purpose and how life works and other people. Honestly, it's like everything. So if you've been telling yourself like this is just how life is, I'm here to tell you, like, you can rewrite that script. You're in charge. The stories that you tell yourself matter. If you keep saying that I'll never find love, or I'm bad with money, or I'm just unlucky, things always turn out wrong for me, that's what you're going to keep living. And I know it sounds so hard, but nobody becomes a motivational speaker because their life was perfect. I didn't start all of this and write a framework on how to be positive because my life was perfect and I was amazing. I did all of this because I banged my head against a wall for 20 years and I finally figured out what works for me with the hope that would work for someone else. So that's the first part, is you have to believe. So step one is simple. Believe you can. Believe that life can be different and that you have the power to change that by changing your belief, and let that belief feel like relief. All right. Point number two is that you've got to plan for it. Big changes don't happen by accident. There's no lightning strike or microdose pill or magic moment or mystical experience that's going to change your life overnight. Hey, maybe I would love that for you. I would love that for me. But really, to make a change in a sustainable way, we have to plan for it. And our life turns towards entropy and chaos. We naturally deteriorate. If we're not growing, we're deteriorating. I love the analogy about a garden, right? It takes no effort to grow weeds. But if you want, flowers and trees and fruit, you've got to plant and prune and care for it. And that's what we do here at Practice Your Positive. That's what the Practice Your Positive Daily podcast and the Positive of the Day are. These are the little tools and strategies to put into work. And when you do, when you plan for it, the results are worth every ounce of energy that it takes. But you have to make a plan. It's not just going to happen by watching this podcast or listening to me, or, it's not just going to happen. You need to make a plan. And finally, you've got to look at the people around you. I'll just say this. This was a big one, right? To change who I surrounded myself with. And listen, there's that saying, like, right, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And that's true. And for a lot of times, it can be that if you are perhaps a positive, or I like to think of myself as a fun and energetic person, I do have a tendency to attract people who are the opposite, right? And I gave to them. But if you're surrounded, as I surrounded myself, with people who, took my energy and focused on the drama and stayed stuck in the negativity, it's going to be really hard to maintain your positive and to make a real change unless you change the people that you are around. But listen, here's the catch. If you're thinking it has to be like, you have to like text all your friends and say, oh, I'm positive now, we can't talk. No, it's not that. You don't need a big announcement or start cutting people off or telling them about themselves. It's none of that. Just simply, as you grow, allow yourself to vibe differently. And some people will naturally drift away, and that's okay. There's different reasons and seasons that we are in each other's lives. We don't have to judge and force things to be something that they're not. So focus your energy on people who inspire you and support you and lift you up. So your inner circle should reflect the version of the life that you want to be and the change you want to see, and not the one that you're leaving behind. So join a group for entrepreneurs or join a support group. Go out and meet people who are in a similar space as you, and you will see, just like vibrations, they will catch and it will be contagious. Here's the positive of the day. Take a moment to write a brutally honest I am statement about who you are or what you believe right now. Be real, even if it's uncomfortable. You don't have to share this with anybody. I suggest, just if you have a little notebook, maybe you have a journal, all these little positive of the days, just jot them in there. It's important to write them down, okay? So write a statement from the I am as you are right now. If I wrote my I am statement from maybe 5 years ago when I really started making a change on these things, I would say perhaps I am deeply unlovable and a failure at relationships. And that was something that I took with me every day, and I didn't really examine it. So then what I want you to do, so you write your I am statement for where you are, and then write an I am statement for who you want to become, right? So again, maybe you say right now, like, I'm stuck and I'm frustrated and I'm afraid of being alone. But your future I am statement could be, I am confident and outgoing and living my purpose, right? These two statements, write these two statements down where you can see them and let them remind yourself of where you are and where you want to go. Change is not so scary when we choose it, when we self-direct it. Change is scary when it happens to us. But if you have a plan for that change, it's not as scary. It's just like going to the gym, right? Have a workout, have a vision, have a goal for yourself. You don't have to live the same day, year over year. You don't have to live the same year, over decade. Honestly, you have the power to break the cycle, to rewrite your story, and to live a life that feels like yours. You need to believe it and plan for it, and then surround yourself with the right people. I promise you, you will start to see the changes. Thank you so much for listening to Practice Your Positive. If this resonated with you, you can share it with someone who might need to hear it. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. And remember, belief is relief. It starts with you. And if I can do it, you can do it too. I love you.